Hello, before we get into today's episode of CSGO News, I do want to remind you we actually have WESG qualifiers free to enter for all of you guys who want to play in teams or actually go solo for other esports. It's a tournament qualifier held by WESG alongside World Gaming and Cineplex, up to $200,000 in prizes, free to enter, and those links will be down below. So hope you guys all enjoy, and let's get into the episode. Just the annual clap because somehow CSGO survived another year, guys, and kind of anticlimactic as well. But first of all, happy birthday to all of us who are currently watching today's episode. We have officially broken the 6th birthday, the 6th year of existence for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So thank you guys who all watched the show, and I cannot believe we made it an entire year. It's been a rough year, though. When you think about what's happened, maybe in the podcast this weekend, I'll talk about what's all happened this year in CSGO. But it's been a crazy year, especially these past few months, a crazy downturn for CSGO. And on top of that, we also had a great update, though, and that was by Valve, of course, adding more chickens, and alongside that, the MP5 into the competitive game. So that was really cool. It's actually now into Wingman, so that's awesome. It's not the update we wanted, though, which of course was Faceit stickers, but still, also on top of that, though, I guess we're going to talk about stickers more in the future. We do have two big stories, though, to start off the episode. The first of which is actually all about what potentially could be happening for the Faceit Major. Now, this is actually back in June. I'll show you guys a tweet on screen of what Faceit later deleted, which could be team-dedicated gloves. Now, the big question would be, would these actually be a Valve item drop so other players can get them, or would they be a spectator option? I'm sure if you guys are watching CSGO or have been for a long time, you guys understand a lot of Star Ladder events or Star Series events actually give all the teams gloves for spectating views, which means the players do not actually get the gloves in game, and none of the players none of us do actually get the gloves in game, but they're only for spectators' viewpoint only. So they're not an actual item in the game. Of course, if they were an item in the game, that probably would mess up Valve's revenue share. What would the revenue go to? Would it go to the teams themselves? Would we have to open the case? It'd be a weird thing for a major to implement. Would the revenue go to the teams? Would it go to the major organizer? That'd be the big question mark. So I don't think these are actually going to be leaked or going to be released into the game anytime soon as actual items, but I do think for the Faceit Major we could see team gloves as spectator mode. Now, if I am wrong and we get team gloves in the game, expect actual gloves to drop heavily in price, but again, I highly doubt that's going to happen, but hopefully, cross your fingers, it'd be definitely a cool addition for other organizers besides Star Ladder to actually introduce team gloves. And also in very big news, not many people really talking about this. I guess some people really don't care, but I definitely did because we have a top 3, possibly a top 3 account of all time. That means a top 3 most expensive CSGO inventory of all time, that being CSGO Gambler, well-known YouTuber Juicy, had his entire account banned with apparently right around $100,000 in skins. So I'll link his video down below if you guys want to watch it through. Apparently, it was because of his affiliation with CSGO Gem, as well as other websites out there, but mainly his affiliation with CSGO Gem, which actually broke, of course, TOS by Valve, and they banned his account for that. And I thought it was just kind of remarkable to see how much he's probably made, because if you watch his video, he is so calm throughout the entire time. Now, I'm sure when he woke up and found his account was banned, he probably was a bit upset, but he was so calm and said that he deserved the ban and he was okay with it. It kind of just blew my mind how much this guy has probably made to have $100,000 disappear. He can no longer buy, sell, trade, or anything with those skins beside play with them. So for all of you guys who actually think he can trade them away or sell them on Steam Market, he can't. He is completely banned, but he can only play with them in game. It's amazing to see how $100,000 can disappear and this guy can be so. If that was me, dear God. But so many cool skins are now out of the game, guys. A Stat Track Factory New Fire Serpent, several Howls out there, as well as a Factory New Souvenir Dragon Lore, several Butterfly Knives, a couple Rubies Butterfly Knives, also a Sapphire Butterfly Knife. Not the most immaculate or rare skins, but still nearly $100,000 in skins has been banned. And I do believe, based off records out there, I know the #1 account banned in terms of value was actually around $200,000, and then we had a $130,000 one. I do believe for sure this is now a top 5 CSGO inventory to be banned, and it might even be a top 3 at the #3 spot. So rip Juicy and his $100,000 inventory, but luckily he's got apparently plenty in the bank, which still just blows my mind. This guy plays CSGO gambling and makes more than my dad. And of course, with all the big stuff out of the way, we do have some other updates and other CSGO news out there. The first of which would be, of course, we have TI8, International 8 for Dota 2 going on, which seemingly is, of course, Valve's, I guess you could say, golden child, as we actually have Gaben, yes, Gabe Newell himself, actually showing up to TI. There's a bunch of memes out there right now. Apparently, he shows up to International. He doesn't show up to CSGO Majors, though, and he doesn't show up to TF2 tournaments, but it really makes you question, maybe this year's the year, guys. Maybe this year, Faceit London, we're going to see Gabe Newell at the CSGO Major. We can only hope. But Also on top of that, a lot of roster change news, a lot of Standin news out there, some smaller news, but I'll start with the biggest one. It's actually FNX announcing the benching of himself due to personal reasons from the now Como roster, and also alongside him, Bit will also be leaving that roster to a reserve player on the team. It seems like he'll be a substitute player if they do need him in the future, and they probably will not need him. As for right now, it's ex-Immortal Horvey. Alongside that, former YAYYYY gaming member, that's going to be Zan joining the team in place of those two guys. And also in bigger news as well, they are now no longer now Como. We've actually talked about their struggles the past few months. The team really can never get anything going. They were one of the favorites for, of course, the Brazilian qualifiers for the American Minor, failed to do so, and ever since then have seemingly fallen apart. And as FNX, the owner, the founder of now Como, goes away, with it goes the name. They are now known as Team No Tag. So no longer now Como. They have now replaced FNX and Bit. They'll be replaced with Horvey and Zand, and they'll be going forward as Team No Tag. And I think we almost all agree on paper this team takes a big hit. I think Horvey, of course, a very experienced Immortal member himself, has not played, consistently for a long amount of time now. I think he's definitely a solid player, but Zand himself is definitely more of a question mark for the future, and especially because you take away an IGL from the team and you kind of throw these players together with no experienced IGL left in the roster, it's probably going to be a big downgrade. On top of that, we also other news out there for stand-in players. The first of which will be Team Sprout. It's actually going to be for one tournament only, guys. ESL Germany. It will be Maniac, not coming out of retirement as well. He took to Twitter to announce it's just a stand-in play. It's helping out Team Sprout. He will be in place of Spitty, who cannot make the event. So Maniac not coming out of retirement, but Team Sprout will get him for one event. On top of that, we also have a nice pickup for one tournament as well. It will be for DreamHack Stockholm, and that will be Team Greyhounds, and they are also in the Group A of Death with Astralis. So best of luck to him. It's going to be Fejtz actually picked up for the team for this one tournament. Actually a pretty impressive pickup, especially if you look at his most recent performance with HR. It was actually at IEM Shanghai. He did pretty well for the team over there. And on top of that, we also have very big news. Unfortunately enough for Kick Esports, Kick has now disbanded their entire roster, and that does include, of course, the CIS legend, notorious figure there, Starix. He went from coaching to playing, and he is now teamless once again. I do not doubt at all if he wants to continue playing competitive CSGO or actually coaching, there's always going to be a spot, at least for some short amount of time in the future, and for him in the CIS scene. So also on top of that, though, and also big news as well for all you Znajder fans, Znajder's been teamless for well over a year now, and he has finally found his place on Team Euronics. It's actually him and Kalor joining that new roster, and he also made sure to tweet out he will play until his fingers bleed, which I gotta love the dedication over there. And again, he was one of the pro players who'd actually been tweeting out some weird things, asking about, should he actually get a real life job, should he quit CSGO. He'd been trying to go full-time streaming, and he was also asking Twitter, what can he do without a college education that's actually like an esports kind of job. So apparently he's now found his job for Euronics, and hopefully does not slip through his fingertips there. But those are some small changes out there in the air, but hopefully some bigger ones not coming soon before the major, but after the major we can probably expect a big old shuffle coming in, and I cannot wait to see who of these stand-in players, who of these trial players will actually work their way into the full-time roster. And also very last in today's episode of CSGO News, thank you guys all for breaking our like goal. We smashed that like goal. I think it was 847 likes. I will be giving away at least one copy of Nothing's full CSGO course. I'll have you guys know I'm actually talking to a friend of his right now to try and solidify if I can actually send to the winners that course via email. So also if we break the same like goal this video, guys, I'm going to give away 2 copies of Nothing's full CSGO course. As of right now, it's currently on sale for $14.99. I believe after the summer sale ends, though, it goes back up to $150. If you guys want to buy your own copy, feel free to. But thanks to all of you guys who liked the video. I will be giving away 2 full copies on my Twitter sometime very soon. So look out for that, guys. And very lastly as well, we actually have some sneak peek footage out there as to what JDM's future might be, guys. And I think, honestly, when you really look into it, I think he might be joining Team North or Fortnite.